and welcome to my channel. My name is Martine, and if you are new here, I do videos on Vedic astrology mainly, but also with some tropical insights, and I focus on both relationship and natal astrology. And if you like this video and you would like to hear more content from me, please like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video. And also, if you're interested in a personal consultation, I do consultations on a wide variety of topics. Please check out the video description. I will leave my contact information there. Thank you. So, first of all, Happy New Year. This is the first video that I'm going to record in 2022 as an introduction. And yes, I know I haven't posted something in a while, nearly 2 weeks now, but you know, family stuff and then also technical stuff. By the way, in case anyone is wondering why my voice sounds a little bit different, technical stuff. I had to change laptops, and yeah, this is basically the microphone that is embedded in the laptop until I figure things out. Okay, and so this is going to be in continuation with the ascendant transit predictions for 2022. It's going to take a while for me to get used to talking again. And this is for the ascendant in Aries. And once again, like I have mentioned before, you can use this for your moon sign as well, especially if the moon sign in your natal chart is at a lower degree of any sign than your ascendant. You might actually find that the moon sign predictions are more accurate than the ascendant or Lagna predictions, okay? That being said, to continue with the introduction, a few disclaimers, a few things that I want to mention before I get into the actual description for 2022. First of all, remember that this is a generalized prediction, and of course, a lot of it will depend on your individual case. If you want to have a more personalized prediction for 2022, of course, I suggest that you get a personal consultation, or, well, at the very least, bear in mind the fact that you could get different results because there are a lot of factors to take into account. I'm only going to be mainly looking at a few generational planets. These are the planets that take the longest to stay in one sign, so it's easier to make generalized predictions based on them. I'm going to be looking at the signs of Saturn, Jupiter, Rahu, which is the north node of the moon, Ketu, which is the south node of the moon, and a little bit of Pluto as well from tropical astrology. And I have divided the year into three main different charts. The first one is from around January 1st to April 22nd. The second one is from April 22nd to July 21st. The third one and final is from July 21st to December 31st, 2022. And these are going to be based on the signs of Jupiter and Saturn. Okay. Another kind of disclaimer to add is that to simplify the predictions, I have left Rahu in Taurus for the entire chart one phase. However, you should bear in mind the fact that actually Rahu enters Aries on around April 3rd, 2022, which leads me to actually another disclaimer that the positions of the planets, of course, will depend on your geographical location. So bear in mind that when I say Jupiter is in Aquarius, for instance, you have to actually calculate it for your geographical locations to make sure that Jupiter will actually be in Aquarius. Otherwise, you can expect the placements to be off by a few days. So, you know, for instance, Rahu may enter Aries on April 3rd in some areas of the globe, but it may take a few days to reach Aries in other areas of the globe. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so these are the general disclaimers, and now to get into the actual interpretations. Hopefully you will be seeing the chart on the screen. So the chart 1 phase is from around January 1st to April 22nd, 2022, when Jupiter is going to be in Aquarius and Saturn is going to be in Capricorn. Right. This is actually something that I have considered talking about, in general, but I'm gonna talk about it here, for the Aries Ascendant as well, which is that I really think travel restrictions will be particularly strong when Saturn is in Capricorn. So that means the first part of the year until roughly April 22nd and the last part of the year after July 21st, roughly. So a friendly piece of advice for everyone would be to establish vacations somewhere in between April and July. This is my intuition, okay? I'm not 100% sure, but this is my intuition and this is my impression, okay? So first of all, in your case, for Aries Ascendant or Aries Moon, Saturn Pluto will fall in the 10th house, and this is going to be the main area of emphasis. Actually, the 10th house is going to be basically the main area of emphasis for you for most of the year. This shows career, social karma, job, anything to do with the professional arena or your, quote, duties to society. It also has to do with relationship to authority and the father figure. Okay, so in your case, this shows there will be some major transformation happening in the 10th house, continuing possibly with what has happened in previous years. And this will show increased responsibility. This will show a need to work hard on your part in your professional arena. This is a good time to basically build the foundations of a new career path if you have been trying or have been considering changing careers, for instance. Progress will be slow during this time, so this is not a time to reap the benefits too much. It doesn't mean that you won't also have gains, of course, but you can mainly expect this to be a time where you have to just put in a lot of effort into your career without really expecting anything in return. Okay. And also, so you can expect progress to be slow. And you can expect to encounter a lot of frustrations, okay? Basically, this is a time when your professional goals will be tested by Saturn to see, well, not your professional goals, but your commitment to your professional path will be tested. Okay, and you will definitely be greatly rewarded for any efforts that you put into your career path during this time, especially since in your case, Saturn rules the 10th and 11th houses as well, which 11th house is the house of gains, okay? This could also show that your social network, your friends, your older siblings as well, can help you with your career and your status during this time. So whether it's material help or just spiritual guidance, this is a good time to rely on your social network for support when it comes to professional career / career goals. A job recommendation, for instance, could come from a friend or an elder sibling. You could also potentially start any kind of professional venture together with siblings or friends if you are interested in starting your own business. The relationship with the father and the mother can tend to be cold and, strictly, maybe even professional kind of. And there could also be some illness in the family of origin, so take care of the health of your parents, especially of the father during the during the chart 1 phase, okay? Rahu in the second house shows that you will feel a strong urge to break away from your family of origin. There will be a strong wanderlust potentially, and as well as a tendency to pick up new and unusual daily habits. And there is a good chance of making money through online media. There could be sudden disruptions in your daily routines or unexpected situations at your workplace or with respect to your health, colleagues, and pets. Online exams will be particularly likely to bring you success during this time. Saturn and Jupiter aspecting the 7th house shows that this is a good time to start a long-term relationship or reach a new level of commitment in an already existing relationship. It is also a good time to start a business, or any new venture in your career. Ketu in the 8th house increases interest in the occult and your intuition. Jupiter in the 11th house shows gains from higher education and travels and spiritual pursuits like meditation, study of religion, and higher philosophy, etc. Okay, so this is pretty much it for the main themes for the chart 1. The chart 2 phase will stretch from around April 22nd to July 21st, 2022. Rahu will be in your ascendant, which shows that you will become more extroverted, confident. You will like to take the limelight. You will like to take the center stage position. You can also gain recognition and even fame, especially if you are, using some kind of online media or any kind of actually technology to show your face, and you're making use of your physical body, showing yourself on camera, for instance. So even like being a YouTuber or something, you could gain a lot of recognition if you show your face. You will also get the urge to focus on improving your physical body in general. You might, pick up a new workout routine. You could also feel a strong urge to do something unusual to your appearance, like maybe a strange hair color, or even getting a tattoo or a piercing, especially since Rahu shows everything that is kind of foreign and exotic. So maybe something that is particular to a certain culture that you develop an interest to. That's something that could happen. In any case, it will show that you will feel the urge to pay attention to your appearance and your physical body. And also, you'll become more assertive. Jupiter in the 12th house will show potential losses on account of educational pursuits and or religions or religious interests or institutions, but it can also show increased chances of travels. Your children will become rebellious if you have children. Relationships with your children and subordinates during this time could become strained and maybe a little bit cold, distant, and also unpredictable. Jupiter and Saturn, and actually this will stay true for the children part, will stay true for pretty much the rest of the year. Okay, so from the moment that Rahu enters Aries onwards. Jupiter and Saturn's aspect on the 8th house shows that it's a good time with respect to relationships with your in-laws, if you have in-laws, of course. It's also a good time to invest financially, especially for the long term. The home environment will become particularly comfortable. You will have good real estate and vehicle luck. So this is a good time to move to a nicer place, a bigger place, and also potentially change your vehicles, your car, sometimes your boat, even your bicycle. Relationship with the mother and the family is going to be good. I mean, the family of the mother, so the mother side of the family. Ketu will be in the 7th house. Again, this is going to be throughout the time when Rahu is in Aries. So this shows that relationship with the spouse could become a little bit more distant, could cool down during this time. You might even start to lose interest in a long-term partner during this time, or maybe they could start to lose interest in you. Worst case scenario, there could be a separation, a dissolution of the relationship during this time, especially if you feel that it no longer serves you. And another thing that could happen is because you become too self-centered, you become too focused on yourself, you start to neglect your partner. So you want to watch out for that, because if you don't want to end a relationship, you would be advised to pay more attention to whatever whatever issues are present in the relationship, or anything that the partner is not happy with, okay? In order to avoid the dissolution of a long-term relationship. Another thing that could happen is you could be more successful in a profession, in a business, especially a partnership-based business, but just any kind of business venture where you have a spiritual object of focus in your profession. So it could be something connected to religion. It could also be connected to esoteric stuff. It could be occult, mysticism, even, tarot and astrology, for instance. However, it's not just that. Could also be connected to psychology, could be connected to joint ventures, or managing other people's finances. Could also be connected to any kind of research and electricity, especially small electrical gadgets. Okay, so if you want to open a business that has anything to do with these things, you might be particularly favored during after the chart 2 phase onwards. But whichever the scope of your business, or whichever your career aspirations may be during this time, you should basically take into account the spiritual side to your profession. So like, even if you are, I don't know, a janitor, or if you just have a regular job, you should take a spiritual perspective with respect to what you're doing. So think of it in terms of a service, of how other people are benefiting from your work, because this is going to increase your chances of success in your profession, and also your overall, satisfaction with respect to your profession. And this is pretty much everything that I can say about the chart 2 phase. Now, the chart 3 phase, which is the final one, from around July 21st to around December 31st, 2022, Rahu stays in the first house. Like I said, Ketu in the 7th house. So everything that I've said about Rahu and Ketu from the chart 2 phase will be valid in the chart 3 phase as well. Saturn and Jupiter will be aspecting the 4th house together. This shows, again, good real estate luck, even better than the previous periods, and good vehicle luck. So this is definitely a good time for you to switch homes, for instance, improve your home, take on any kind of renovation, get a new vehicle, a nicer vehicle. Of course, it also means that you could have higher chances of success in some professions that are connected to these things. So 4th house careers like real estate, dealing with vehicles, like, I don't know, being a car salesperson. So you're going to be particularly favored if you start some kind of a professional venture in some 4th house related activity. Also things to do with maternity, taking care of children, anything that has to do with being nurturing, like a nurse, or a restaurant, well, maybe not so much restaurant owner nowadays, but a fast food business, being a cook, being an interior decorator, things like that. Anything to do with the 4th house. Real estate, I think I mentioned real estate. Yeah, it also can show that you're going to be working from home a lot, especially since in your case, Saturn rules the 10th house and it's in the 10th house and it's aspecting the 4th house, okay? And you could also do well in professions like teaching, especially at the primary education level, so grade school. Jupiter's aspect on the 6th house shows good job opportunities during this time. Pets will be particularly beneficial for you if you have them. Health will be good, but you should be careful not to become too self-indulgent because then your health could suffer. Another thing to take into account is that during this time you may lose competitiveness, like you may lose interest in things like competitive exams or anything, well, any procedure or sports, for instance, competitive sports. So that's something you want to take into account, especially maybe if you have been working towards a goal for a long time. Try not to give in to the more, let's say, self-indulgent tendencies and stop pushing as hard as you should, because Jupiter is going to make you be like a little bit, you're not going to feel competitive. You're not going to really want to try very hard. During this time, you may be a little bit lazy. Let's just call it like that. Building a healthy daily routine should be a priority during this time and will greatly help you with your overall well-being, both psychologically and physically. The professional arena, once again, actually I did mention this from the beginning, will take pretty much most of your time and your energy, and will definitely require a lot of effort and perseverance on your part. This is a time to plant the seeds for the future harvest, okay? So basically, you should understand that you have to be really patient and you have to be very thorough. Don't leave anything to chance when it comes to your professional arena, because the more thorough you are, the more effort you put in, the more disciplined you are, the more organized you are, the more you maximize your physical resources with respect to your career, the more you will gain in the future, okay? The more success, the more money you will gain in the future. So try not to be discouraged by setbacks and obstacles, okay? Because your patience and your perseverance will be tested to the maximum by Saturn. And another thing that could happen is the father figure and authority figures will seem particularly difficult and testing during this time. And this is another thing to take into account. Try not to, if you're starting out, for instance, with a new job, be careful not to ruin your chances by maybe, rubbing an authority figure the wrong way and starting some kind of a conflict that could be a potential, downfall. That being said, you can expect good return on investments during this time as well. Good relationship with the in-laws. This is because of Jupiter's aspect on the 8th house. And good joint assets situation with your spouse if you have a spouse. There could also be foreign influences or travels involving the spouse's family of origin. Okay. So yeah, this has been pretty much it, and I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you have, please subscribe. And also, if you're interested in a personal consultation, I do consultations on a wide variety of topics. Please check out the video description. I will leave my contact information there. Thank you.